Awesome. What we're gonna do is we're gonna quickly go over what's happening in the market. Then I want to talk about the journal for all the swing trades, and then I want to give you a plan for tomorrow. Just give me 1 second. Let me just make sure I enable the wait list. All right. So this is essentially what's happening in the market is Trump talked about how this war can go for another 4 weeks. And the precise reason for giving that is because of the stock market. In my opinion, the way this was supposed to be done was get everything done during the weekend, and then before the futures open, the market opens flat or a little red. And we've achieved that for the most part. This is the futures for oil. Look how where it opened, and it's filling the gap right now. And I'll tell you why this is happening. For the last, I'd say, month and a half, we knew about this. It's not like Venezuela where it happened and people weren't expecting it. So hedges were being added on Friday. They were buying gold calls, they were buying USO, which is oil, XOM, and I'll show you what I did. And I don't think I'm gonna make a lot on this, but I'll show it to you. I added, was it here or? So I added puts for Wednesday because of all that, but I don't think I'm gonna make much. And the reason why I added Wednesday is because it gives me time if it goes against me. But I think they're gonna be up a little bit. It's not gonna be like a crazy play, but the reason was essentially the war headlines and all the oil flow that's the only reason. I never buy puts Friday going into Monday. In fact, even when the market goes down on Sunday night, usually it opens flat and then the IV is gonna be, so this is VIX. This was VIX around Friday close. Am I looking at around Friday close? And so they weren't really buying puts. They were buying energy and oil. So I'll show you something else as well. This is the short interest as energy goes up. XLE, that's the ETF that we look at. That sector is up 25% this year, and the short interest is going up as it's going higher. So if we look at XLE tomorrow, you're gonna get all the short squeezed, and I think it goes back down. My logic here is that majority of the people are looking at buying oil gold, and I think money's going to rotate out of it because we were buying all these hedges into the war. Now that we know it's done, they're going to sell it. That's sort of, I have a contrarian approach here. In terms of shorting, I post a lot of my research on Discord so we could talk about it and you guys have time to look at it. Um, this talks about the total net income for different companies. Um, so if we don't cut the interest rate, because that's the only thing that bulls have going on for them is the interest rate cut, IWM is possibly the best short. I got a lot of people that don't really trade options or short-term options. I'll give you a name. Look at this. These shares around 625. If we get like a drop, they have a potential of going to 20. So without worrying about theta, so I'm looking to buy these commons tomorrow, depending on where we open. I was gonna do it on Friday, but I took puts. So like, I'll give you an example. So let's say if you were gonna put $1,000 in IWM puts, you gotta worry about theta, IV, and all that stuff. If you put, and this is talking on a small scale on a small account, if they 4x, you're gonna roughly make $3,000 in profit. I'm of course gonna add a lot more than $1,000, but this is what I'm looking to add, and my stop would be all-time high on IWM. So if I pull IWM chart, that's what I'm looking. I'm not saying this is a hedge. This is the trade I'm looking at. This is the stop for me. 271, so it's about 10 points, but I think we're gonna go back with the 230 if they don't cut interest rate, and this is beyond that. So this is what bulls have going on. They need the interest rate cut. What we're seeing short term is there's something called wall selling, and what that event wall selling, and what that means is when we have OPEX, and you guys can go back and check when the minutes get released, we rally up unless the news are bad, but we 90% of the time we rally up, and that's because puts are getting closed. And same thing happens during these sort of events where we were buying all these hedges for the war. Now it's done. They killed the president. It's done, right? So people cover their puts, which is what's happening right now. People are taking profits. Like this is the ticker is SPX 500. Look at this. So this was the red drop when it opened, and we've recovered about what 37 points. I don't know how high or low we're gonna go, but usually Monday, pretty good chance of opening flat. I know like people are panicking and all that, and all this stuff is massive, right? They're launching missiles in Dubai. We should be down way more. We're barely down 40, 50 points. That's like a normal Friday. Anyways, so my point being is a lot of this is short term. So short term, I'm not looking to go short. I think if event wall causes the market to go up. And if the market goes up, that's when you want to add fresh puts if that's what you're looking for. But you have to pick what you're gonna go short. In terms of call, I have a list and I'll go over my playbook here in a second. But the idea is to see how the market does tomorrow and see if we get to 6850 and 6900. And for short position, I'm not going to buy puts because VIX is going to be very high. So looking to add that TZA that I told you guys about. That's sort of what I have in mind. But overall, I think everything's happened. Tomorrow hedges come off. We get a short-term bounce and then market's going to go play by play. I'll go over my journal. We didn't look at it for a while, so it's a good time to look at it now. Can you guys see the journal? Let me know. So I have only taken two trades on my small account out of all these trades since we last talked. NOK and INTC, everything else, and UAMY too. Otherwise, I haven't touched it. I haven't done the whole risk and reward yet, but the success rate's about 66.67. Intel, someone pointed out, I think it was Ravi, he mentioned that, Intel was up 25% twice. You could have taken profit. I could, and then the trade could work too. The problem though is I don't take swing trade for 20%. And I know this sounds crazy, and I told you guys I took a 20%. Majority of you I told just put a stop at break even and you'll be fine. But I don't take trades for 20%. And so I don't put like it's hard for me to take profits at 20% and it's gonna break essentially my system because if I take profit at 20% and I start doing that, I'm gonna miss on a lot of good trades. So I took a loss of 20% on Intel, and I'll tell you why. I saw a big order of Intel coming on Friday, and I believe those calls that we bought got closed. That's precisely why I exited the trade. On Monday, I'll be able to confirm. And I can't say this enough. I think the insider trading has been insane. And when I see people closing these trades, I tend to now get out because they may know something that I don't know. And better than Intel, Avgo and TSM actually had some insane flow in terms of call on that day. So I might switch, but we'll see. Like I'm building my cash flow from day trading right now and then funneling into Google and April calls or May or June calls or the Excel. I'm gonna go over my XLU research with you guys as well today. We have time. And then UAMY, I think with all the war and everything going on, this stock benefits, and I'll show you the cup and handle on this, my favorite play right now. And knock calls, they're up about 50%. I think they closed at about 70 from 48 is when we added. So we're roughly up about 50% on that trade. Okay, so let me show you UAMY first, and then I'm going to show you knock, and then I'm going to show you something that I noticed pretty late, I would say, but it's worth looking at. So these are my favorite plays. That's why it's play of the week. This I don't let me sorry. Let me see if there is any flow that came. So let me refresh it. Sometimes it doesn't work. Okay, so this is the flow. Let's arrange it by premium. Let's go calls bought. This is what they bought. I believe we have to make calls, but this looks like it's waiting for a breakout. And I think the call flow, let me see. It's play of the week, right? So this is what they bought. They bought May 15, 10 calls. A pretty big size for that. So I'm holding it and because it's not tech and majority of my stops have been on tech. Even the EMAs are curling up. So I don't know if we get a pullback on this, but as long as we stay above or we get above 9, this should shoot up. I think we can get 12 on this personally. There's a lot of headlines that come in that can push this higher. So let me show you something that, again, I discovered late. So this is SPX. I haven't talked about this with you guys. So this is, I'll mark the open. So this is the opening price of, sorry, this is the opening price of 8 on January 2nd. Okay. So far we're flat for the year. Now let me show you guys something. Hold on, I'm gonna stop sharing because I gotta find that Excel. And hold on, right there. Okay, do you see my Excel? I want to make sure you can you guys see this Excel sheet right here? Okay, so I've been wondering why a lot of these stocks like Robinhood are down because even though crypto is going down, these should go up because the amount of trading has gone up, right? And then I started looking into what the other countries are doing. So this is the tickers. And these are the countries for those tickers. And look at how they're doing. South Korea is doing 48%, partly because Samsung is in their index and Samsung's outperforming everything. This is Peru, 29%. This is Thailand. This is Brazil. Look at the list. I'll give you another fun fact, okay? In overall, ever in the like I'd say the last 50 years, if someone's thinking to invest in the stock market, let's say someone in India or someone in Japan, if they have $100, $87 would go into the US stock market, and then the rest would go into their own stock market. This year, the ratio is $26 is going into the US stock market, and the rest is going into their own stock market. So that's what got me looking into all this. I'm watching for a pullback into EWY and I'm looking into Brazil EWZ. They have the best chart. I believe they can outperform US this year. And so far, this isn't looking good. This is like, does anyone here know about the diamond pattern? I think I posted a chart like on Friday. I don't want to go look in the Discord, but this essentially is a pattern that leads only one way, which is down. And so far, it's not looking good. I don't know. There's a lot of new people, so I don't want to give any mixed messages. What I'm saying is tomorrow is not where I'm looking to short, but I'm also saying that the market isn't looking good. And I'd say in the next 2, max 3 weeks, we're looking for a big drop coming in the stock market. I'm talking like at least like 2 to 500 points of a drop. The only thing that saves us right now is the rate cuts. The whole point of AI taking jobs is coming true. That whole case. Um, I was in a conference in Seattle, I think was it December or November, and they were talking about how in 5 years, 87% of the jobs are going to be taken by AI, which means that a lot of new graduates are not going to have a job. I don't think it's going to take 5 years now. I think it's going to take a lot less because that report that I showed you, I used AI. I'm not ChatGPT. There's so many more to get that report with a click of one button. On that note, let me show you the XLU report so you guys can see what I'm talking about on what's to come with this AI and everything. I've been working on this for a while. You guys, again, sorry, I keep asking. I just want to make sure you guys can see this. Can you guys see this? Can you guys see the report for XLU? Okay, perfect. So let me show you something first. So I talked to you guys about XLU. Now, I'm not ever calling out leaps, but we talked about XLU for just last Sunday. Okay, I want to show you how up it is. It's up 3% in a week. That is not how this moves. This is a very slow moving ETF. It does not move. If you look at this, and I don't mind, I'm gonna upload this in the Discord, of course. Their base case, I don't think I can zoom in. Their base case of this based, and I didn't tell AI to tell me the best case. I'm like, just tell me the projection based off everything what's happening with AI. So people that were selling gold or mining didn't make money. It was the that were selling the shovels. This is the concept here. The stuff that's backing and powering AI, that's what's supposed to blow up. The reason why I think this is going to blow up even more for options is because the IV on these options is very small, very low, not small. So this is their bear case. It's at 47. This is their base case, and this is their bull case. I'm not going for the bull case. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm going for the base case 51. In my opinion, the analysts or the multiple people I've spoken to, they're going for a 40%. So they're going even higher than this. I'm saying even if I get the base case, IV up, I'm talking about 500% return on leaps. So this is something that I don't ever like people to miss. So if you're an investor, if you look at it, spend some time and look at XLU. I think if you're into investing into the US market, this could be massive. So now how I'm going to trade this is I've taken half a position on this and I'm waiting for seeing if I get another opportunity to buy this if this drops. And I'm hoping this drops to like 45 so I can go full position on it. And that's how I'm going to trade. But I wanted to make sure you guys see this. Okay, so for tomorrow, let's this started. So for IWM, let me just open RTI, see what. So RTI had a massive gap down, so it literally looks like a cup and handle, but we're just gonna rely on IWM for now. This is where we're at. I'm gonna show you key moving averages that you need. We want to take trades that are gonna make us money, not 25%. That's not what I'm gonna, where's my standard moving average? There you go. So let's see where the 100-day is. Let's see where the 50 is. So this is perfect. So tomorrow, this is what you need to watch out for. 259.61. We've closed above that multiple times. Oh, sorry, we bounced off of that multiple times. This is the level you need to watch out for. If we close under, when I say close, guys, I don't mean on a 5 minute, you see this go below and you just like, let me buy puts. It needs to close. Look at all these situations here. All of them. We did not close. This was the only occasion where we didn't close and we gapped down. Tomorrow is going to be something like this. If we close under it, I'm looking for longer puts, not 0 day. So March 20, 250 or 255, that's sort of what I'm looking. This is specifically, I'm talking about a swing trade, not a day trade. But this is the level we want to watch out for. I am pretty sure we open below it, but if we pop back up, then I leave it. But that's sort of the level I've been watching for a long time. So that's IWM. Traditionally, on a larger account, TZA is that if you guys work for if you guys are a financial advisor, and I believe if you guys work for anything SEC related or a broker, they won't let you buy TZA because I have a bunch of clients, they can't touch this. But I'll bring the charts again. This is what I'm watching. If we get to 6, I'll get it tomorrow. I doubt it. I think it's going to open about 640. So that's what I'm watching. The next stock I'm watching is AAOI, changing the entire playbook right now. So I'm gonna ask you guys who've been here long enough. When we get a candle like this, where would you think is how much percent do we usually give back? And so that makes it our key level. So what's that in this? What's the percent? Can someone tell me? So it is on a fibs level, it's usually 50%. and that level is 75. And one of the things that I've done a bad job at is ignoring stuff that's run through. Like I had MU calls that if I, and I'm not making this, you could check, if I held them, they're up 40x, so 4,000%. And I gotta focus on stuff that's leading, and laggers are always gonna be there. So I'm watching this. If tomorrow, for any reason, we get this, 75 is the level I'm watching. So I'm gonna be setting an alert on this. This is a top watch for me. So this is 75. So if we sell off, 75 is what I'm looking for. This, I think this is heading to $100. Um, do some research on what they do and why this could go. But this is what I'm watching. The next one I'm watching is if we're looking for defense names, because so oil, gold, all that stuff gapped up. Now it's gapping down. IV is going to be all over the place, including Palantir. But Palantir is a stock that's been down 130, 34%. And usually, like Netflix, you guys saw, we made a shit ton of money on Netflix if you took the 0 day lotto or if you took the stocks with me. These ones, when they bounce pretty good. So I'm watching Palantir for a swing trade because the way this thing moves, we can easily get to 166 because you've got 4 weeks of these news coming back and forth on. So I'm looking for, I don't know if someone has access right now, tell me what Palantir is sitting at, but my thought process is tomorrow, whatever happens, the first couple hours, I wouldn't touch the market because the way options work is the IV is gonna be very high. You wait for the premiums to come down, and around lunch, look at 150-ish, March 20. That gives us 3 weeks call. So I'm not looking for too long because I've realized, and you have too, most of my swing trades that were in tech, so it's at 141. 140 is gonna 140, 137. So let's just talk. Let's just go by what you're telling us. So 141. So usually that happens. We have a gap fill here. What happens is we fill the gap and then we bounce back again. And the reason they do that is to punish people that are chasing late. And second reason why we sell after is profit taking because people aren't not making money swing trading. There's money to be made. Like I was looking at the South Korea ETF. It was already up 40%, and wait for it to come down, and now I'll be down tomorrow. So I'm looking at it, but a lot of these names can run pretty wild. So I'm looking for 137.19 to take calls about 150 March 20. So what I was saying was majority of my tech calls that are a month out, they don't end up working or they stop me out and go up higher. Like, just so you guys know, my average rate on swing trade percent wise is 80, 85% or higher. I don't think I've ever had a success rate of 66% in my life when it comes to swing trading. This market on tech doesn't work. There's other stocks or other sectors that I'm gonna hit. That was what my goal is, but other than that, this is Palantir is what so like compare this to another name, LMT. This is already running high. So it's of course gonna gap up. I feel like with laggers, Palantir is the best bet because this has a lot of room to go because it's a cult stock. So that's what I'm watching. Like you can also look at XLE. XLE should have a pretty explosive move up because here, I'll show you. I posted this earlier on too. Like a lot of this gets covered at open in the first hour. So that's something I'm gonna be watching too. This is the weekly chart of XLE. And it's like this is only if you're day trading. I'm not touching XLE at all. But if you're like, okay, I'm gonna day trade this, you can. This thing's up 20% in this is a weekly chart. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 weeks. So roughly what started this started in December. So that's sort of what I'm watching. But my top play tomorrow is Palantir. And If I'm gonna day trade, I'm gonna look at XLE. Now, in tech, my opinion is money is rotating into tech. Let me show you something. Hopefully it shows up here. I have Google calls for summer. They bought about $100 million in Google calls just last week. They keep piling into Google calls. I don't know what they know. I just know that this is what they're buying. So I think this is gonna be a very specific market in which you have to pick the stock. Like you can't be like I'm betting on tech. You got to pick which tech are you picking. Are you picking Google? My two horses are Google and Amazon. I think they're gonna do very well. Amazon, I think, is gonna have a 50% move this year, which might sound crazy to some people, but I think Amazon's gonna have a very good year. It was the top five stock picks for basically the top 10 hedge funds, and usually they shake out before they go. But in terms of chart, actually let's do NVIDIA. Let me show you NVIDIA. My thing with NVIDIA is, let me add the Bollinger Band so I can show you. So this is what we've been doing. 170.81 has been a no-brainer to buy this, and then it just runs up. And this is pretty cool because if 170.81 breaks, you could cut it for a 20-25% loss and get out of it. But look at the move, 170 all the way to 194. Now, I believe we got 190, 175 in the futures right now. Like if you're buying commons, you can. But I'm gonna see tomorrow where it happens. I'm looking to get this around this 173 level if we get it. Again, March 20. I'm not going further out on any of these things. That's sort of like the option. For flow, NVIDIA always has insane amount of flow. So $61 million for Mars 27, 162 calls. In the money, not quite effective. I like something like this, 177.5 for 1.6. They paid $8 tomorrow. This shit's probably, but wait for swing trading, wait around lunchish to see what you want to. Day trading, we got to see what other news tape drops tomorrow. But just know that this war, we knew about a month and a half that something's gonna happen every week. Every Friday, it would be like it's gonna happen this weekend. Every Friday, it's like, okay, it finally happened. So I think people are gonna take profits unless something comes along that we didn't expect. Let's go over Trader's Edge because I didn't get Friday. So this is my platform that gives me an idea of what the top flow was. So VRT, Jan 260 calls, Netflix, GLW, NVIDIA, MU, Iron, CMG, AR, AM. Netflix, I took the 100 calls. I think Netflix is going to keep going up. NVIDIA, I'm not in a position looking to take a position tomorrow. And I think VRT is part of XLU. I could be wrong, but the chart looks amazing. So let me go back. What did they buy? They bought Jan 260, so it's too far out for me to touch, but the chart looks incredible. Let's look at the daily chart. So this is called powerful earning gap up. I personally wouldn't touch this until it got to 232. So this is a no-go. That's the level. So these two candles or three was where I wanted to add it. This potentially hammer happen. I don't know. I think this is like a bio stock, but not sure. What is your take on the impact of the government's ban on the way they were able to attack Iran was because of the anthropic technology. So I know about the ban. I don't think it's going anywhere. So the bearish news, and I'll keep saying this, isn't that the war is happening. It's more so that AI can cause the job loss, and inflation is creeping back up. Housing is at the lowest it's ever been, and that's what's worrisome. If they don't cut interest rate, that's what will cause the drop and the AI combination. The war, like, look, unless US sends actual people there, or Iran actually attacks the US physically, like in US, I think it's on, sadly it is bullish, and it's um all these dips get bought up. Like, and if this happened like in 2020, like what we opened at, what, 68, 65, we're down 30 points right now. That we down like 250, 300 points, dude. That's the market we're in. Tomorrow is a lot about patience and making sure that you look at the IV before you're getting into these options. That's what I would say. But I would call out, of course, if I get into something. Now, things this week on day trading. One's happening on Tuesday and one's happening on Thursday. The third one, I'll confirm it'll be either Wednesday and Friday. Futures trading. I kept delaying it purposely. Gerald's been wanting to teach it. Told me that he wants to teach actual one strategy on how to trade. My problem right now is my US futures account hasn't been approved. I keep sending them information, so I'm gonna probably do it for now. But I know there's so many people from US and Canada learning futures, so we'll be learning day trading strategy. It's gonna be happening this week. He's just gonna confirm the date, and I'm just gonna do it from my Canadian account for now. Now, the recording will be uploaded right away, and then I'll be uploading this on YouTube tomorrow. So that delay will happen. Other than that, I'm pretty much done. Look at the golden sweeps that came in. They bought puts, they bought Palantir. It's insane the amount of inside trading. Like, it's like they knew that this was gonna happen. They put $500,000 into USO March 6th calls, which, like, it's crazy. Like, you don't see that, but I don't know if they're gonna make money because oil isn't doing, like, we might, because, like, look at the premiums. They got really expensive in the last half hour. Another thing that I want to talk, sorry, that I completely forgot and write it down, is they're going to do an IPO for SpaceX. So I'm watching this like carefully. RKLB, we've seen multiple time. This is a hammer, and this is a key level. I want to do stocks first and then options. This thing could close easily hundreds. So I'm going to be adding this, and then I'm looking for options, probably going to buy time on this. Okay. Let me check RKLB options. I don't know if I saw any flow. They might be cheaper tomorrow. All right, so three above ask for March 2068 calls. That's pretty massive for this. So they paid, so this one ignore because it's expired. These two, they bought it twice for 160. So I'm adding RKLB to the list. I'm not gonna request because we're over time, but let me check INDO and MPWR. Those are the two I'll check. Indonesian energy. So this is gonna gap up tomorrow. MT, did you go on it? This is what I see, bro. It's a cup and handle. This is my kind of play, but we're late to it. So I don't really chase. It broke out. I'll give you the if you're already in the trade, I'll give you the measured move on this. 35%. 675. Yeah, it's not juice, bro. It's the buy it now. If it comes back tomorrow, it won't. But if it comes back to 5, you just set an alert at 525 comes back, then you could look at it. MPWR. So let's check the flow. I doubt there's gonna be any flow. They also Sats call, same thing, but they were up quite a bit. So there's no flow. I'll show Sats to you guys as well. Again, I don't have any edge on this stock, but it looks like it's heading to this key level. I guess that's why you're looking at it. Um, I don't know how the options are. Are they look liquid or are they not? But if failed, and this level 1127 needs to hold, and then you look at call. This is Sats. I'll show you the flow after this. So I'll show you the 5 minute. I saw this. I'm like, should I add? I think it was gapping up after hours, but this was the flow. You have to be quick on March 20. I'll add this. See if we get a gap up on this. So this guy added this for 2.24 million, 36 minutes before market started slow, then went crazy. How much they pay? They paid a lot for this, but we're not looking to go in the money. So I'll look at 120 calls depending on where it opens. But I'm more interested in RKLB. All right. What's gonna happen is next round Sunday, I'll get all the stocks from you beforehand search, but that's all I have for you guys. I'll see you guys bright and early tomorrow. Probably be up like a 5:30 tomorrow looking at this stuff. And then Tuesday we have our first workshop for, and then futures training once Gerald we will start with his day trading strategy. He does really well. I'll talk about accounts too. I want to just get a bunch of funded accounts going too. They're like $20 a month or something, the Apex account. I'll see which one he's using. And essentially what that is you pay 20 bucks a month, 50K with a $2,500 stop loss, and you learn how to trade. And then if you pass the evaluation, they'll pay you out for the money and all that. More about that. With that, I'm out and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Recording will be uploaded in the next 5.